commentary position, Bill Laurie and Richie Beno.
Thank you, Ian Chappell. Yes, England bowled out for 295. Very good effort by Angel and Warne today. Devon Malcolm with a big job to do. The day belonged so far to Graham Thorpe, a magnificent century. And for Cash 72, and Lewis in the end a well struck 40. All out for 295. The bowling for Australia, Joe Angel picked up 3, bowled 1 or 2 lovely swinging Yorkers to knock over Rhodes and De Freitas. 3 for 65, McGrath 3 for 88, Mark Waugh 2 for 29, and I thought the best bowl today was Shane Warne, 2 for 58 off 23. So England with a big job now, 107 in arrears, now 116. They need early wickets. That's very well bowled. He's very quick, Devon Malcolm. He's fired up, and England realise that this last hour and a half is very, very important if they're going to win or save this Test match.
Your pace and bounce there for Devon Malcolm. Really well in the first innings with no luck. Just with none for 93. Just unbelievable. Catch just dropped. He dropped one of his own bowling. Went past the outside edge.
That's a very good reply again, and Michael Slater a little bit toey there, trying to push it away on the offside. Just wonder whether they need a short leg in. There's a man at backward square leg, Ramprakash about 25 metres away. He's just backward to where the square umpire would be, but there's no bat pad or leg gully. And once again, Devon Malcolm very, very quick, but needs to get wickets. This new ball. He didn't bowl too short in the first innings, Devon Malcolm. He must be careful here that he doesn't get carried away with the strong breeze and just an hour and a half to bowl. You want to be spot on as far as his length is concerned. His line's okay. He's too short. $109 wickets at 36. It's Australia 34 at 43. He's always going to be reasonably expensive because he's attacking all the time. No! Maiden over, no wicket for 9.
No wicket for 29 Australia. Devon Malcolm is the bowler. And it's a misfield. That ball is going to race away. It just slowed up by flicking Devon Malcolm's fingers before going into the fence. So that's not the sort of feeling you really want.
That's terrible fielding. Unfortunately, I don't think they're far wrong. With your own bowling, you really need to knock those down at least. That gave Slater an easy 4. It was attempted Yorker. He hit it straight in the pitch and straight to the hands. I know it's hard when you've got to bend over, but you've got to show some desperation with a hand or boot to it and knock it down.
That's well left by Michael Slater. The bounce quite often takes the ball over the stumps here. Just going back to those opening combinations, what I regard as the great ones, and Bill Laurie is asking or posing the question, did any of them bowl? Bob Simpson's about the only one. I know Woodfull and Ponsford didn't bowl, nor did Brown and Fingleton. There's Sid Barnes could bowl a bit. He bowled top spinners. He was actually quite a useful bowler. And Bill Laurie didn't bowl. I did have him on one day at the Adelaide Oval. And 4 more. Just trying to get the bat out of the road in the end, I suspect. And it came right off the middle. Whereas he hit a few off the edge in the first innings, he's got most of it off the middle today. And the scoreboard is fairly racing along.
certainly is. It's time for change here for England. Michael Latham just cannot allow this to continue at this rate without batsmen look like getting out. He just tried to get the bat away, and when you're in a bit of form, it flies into the gap. And for Devon Malcolm, it's just a frustrating period. It fell short of the cordon anyway. Well, there it is. There's nobody there. And Devon Malcolm not having any luck whatsoever.
Michael Slater was wise enough only to look at his hand after the ball had fallen safely to the ground. That was a devilish delivery. Beautifully bowled by Devon Malcolm.
The glove and maybe the bat handle and fell in safely, well short of the fieldsman. This time it's over the top. Well, for Devon Malcolm, there's no justice whatsoever.
Well, they've got him right on the thumb. He's just marched past Mark Taylor. That ball and the one before, really tough deliveries. They flew.
I guess after the one before, Devon Malcolm would say, well, what can you do? One falls short, one goes over the top and goes away for 4. He's got to nail him now, Devon Malcolm. He's shaking him up with 2 deliveries. Now we've got a 41. It's a quick fire start by Slater and Taylor, and he's a bit sore. Get the Yorker in now, he's got a chance.
I reckon he's done a bit of damage there. It's not like Slater to take too much time. Just looks to me as though he might be very badly bruised.
And he bowls a bad ball. I pick up 3, then they've moved to 4. 15 runs off the over. No wicket for 44.
Slater and Taylor have averaged 77 as their partnerships in this series. 10 overs here. Their run rate has also been very good. Nearly 5 runs and over. Devon Malcolm still going. Again short. This time Slater looking to get his body out of the line first. He's had a blow on the head last over, a blow on the thumb. This time he was looking for the up and under.
Yes, the idea was right. It's just that it seemed as if he was trying to get the upper part of his body out of the way. This was outside off stump anyhow. In fact, I think that just held up a little bit. And had he got hold of it, I can tell you it would have gone flying away. But he just ended up getting a little bit too far away from it. He certainly picked some nice and early. Now they've pushed Gooch back down onto the boundary.
On a wicket like this, the third man is probably mandatory for a fellow like Devon Malcolm, who tries to attack the batsman. Just gives him a little bit more protection. He wants to bowl off stump and come into the right-hand batsman. Anything that goes between the gully and the slips on a ground like this will race down to that area of the field. That's where Gooch has gone now. I think it would help Devon Malcolm. That's the daisy. The seagulls have flown across. The partnerships between these two have been a very important part of Australia's success in this series. Mark Taylor is the man in yellow, Michael Slater in white. That's over by over in this particular innings. Taylor started off well, and now Slater's overtaken him. That's a good delivery, fuller and a little bit of swing.
Yes, it's interesting how things can change in the course of a partnership. in the initial stages. You can see there the yellow blocks. 4 runs in the first 2 overs to Taylor, and just 1 scored by Slater, and the same again in the 3rd and 4th over, except Slater did the same. Just a couple, in fact, 3 maidens now. Maidens, 3 of them in all. And there's good running again. And that's the 50 partnership. So once again, they've cracked 50 between them, and it really is quite unbelievable. They're doing such a good job, these two.
The interesting thing is that, just referring back to that graph, the last 25 runs have all been scored by Michael Slater, so he really has taken over the senior role in this partnership from the run scoring point of view. Mark Taylor's obviously had more experience. Slater, such an exciting player, because when he does make runs, he gets them quickly. 35 in 39 balls. And it really does rock the bowling side when the opening partnership not only is a good one, but it scores quickly. It really can throw the whole planning out for the opposition captain.
You add to that the fact that they also knock the odd one into the gaps for 1, and that in turn upsets the bowler, because it's a right-hand, left-hand combination, and they run very well between the wickets, and often you'll see them just pushing the ball into the gaps, not trying to hit it too hard, but just rotating the strike.
Well, there's an appeal. It's hit something. Mark Taylor not looking too perturbed, but there was a noise which caused the appeal. The umpire says not out, none for 50. Devon Malcolm is being persevered with. 6 overs, none for 33. But he's shaken them up, particularly Michael Slater. He's at him again. He's bowled pretty straight at the body. He hit Slater in the head, may have come off the gloves onto his helmet a couple of overs ago, smashed him on the thumb. This one right at the armpit.
Yes, that's the one that if it hits you in the rib cage, the bruise can hang around for a while. He's bowled very well without much luck. Certainly generated some pace.
Swing and a miss. Michael Slater has been a little bit unsettled by Devon Malcolm's assault. He's really had a dash at a few outside off stump and hasn't really got all that close.
Yes, this was very wide, this one. He was going for it again. Slater on 36, Taylor 19, another good start. No wicket for 56. Boone will be a little bit tentative, fouled in the first innings, and important from his point of view that he gets some runs here in the second innings.
Yes, I don't think David Boone will be enjoying this particular period of play. Watching Michael Slater get wrapped around the body, swing and miss a few, hit a few boundaries. He knows that if a wicket falls, he's on a hiding to nothing. He's going to have to come in and bat for a period of time, somewhere between 40-odd minutes and less. There's about 11 overs left in the day's play, so he hasn't got much time to make any runs if he has to come in, but he's certainly got time to get out. It's a nick, and he's dropped it. I can't believe it. A very, very ordinary attempt. I can't believe it. Devon Malcolm, I think, is almost resigned to the fact that nothing's going his way. Graham Thorpe at slip. I just can't believe he's dropped it. In Perth, he gets such a good look at them.
Yes, it was in the air for a long time. Just watch this one go. Straight bat too. He didn't cut it at. There it is. He's down there. It's quite low, but it's just gone straight through his hands and then onto his heel. And Devon Malcolm just puts his hand up there and acknowledges that, oh well, that's the way it is. This England side, they're catching. They really have made a mess of it in this match.
Well, the thing about it is that it disguises a lot of things. It disguises the fact that Devon Malcolm's bowled some pretty good overs in this test match and hasn't got a wicket. which affects his career. It could well affect his career. I doubt that the England selectors are going to leave him out for the start of whenever their next test match is, because they've seen what he has done. And surely his captain will want to have him in the side. The other thing it disguises from an Australian point of view is that, you know, whilst his opening partnerships have been quite good, there have been a lot of opportunities that have gone begging. I can't believe the West Indians will give them so many chances. Oh, and just to add insult to injury, the wicket-keeper's kicked one away. There are a lot of things that are disappointing about the way England played their cricket. That over's shown a few of them. None for 58. 37 to Slater, 21 Taylor. None for 61. Devon Malcolm still going. He's still going straight at Slater as well. Slater very shrewd. Knows the best place to be in this situation's down the non-striker's end. Try and change the angle for Devon Malcolm. Give him a left-hander to bowl to for a while and see if he can break it up. Slater had a little bit of treatment during the drinks break for his sore thumb.
So I reckon they'll be saying to each other, these two, well, it won't be much longer now and he'll be off. He's bowled 7. This is his 8th. He doesn't often bowl spells this long. We just keep sharing it around a bit, rotating the strike. See if we can weather the storm here.
Oh, this one's straight at the body as well. Devon Malcolm mightn't be outwardly showing any signs of anger, but I think inwardly he'd be seething, and he's taking it out on the batsman. Leg by that one, off the body, into the rib cage this time.
Yes, there'll be a big whelk in the rib cage of the captain of Australia. I can tell you that that really did hurt. He's still rubbing it out there. It's gone thundering in and whacked. The wicketkeeper then goes after it. He goes diving away and missed it, but you can see the batsman running down here, Taylor, hanging onto the rib cage.
Oh, Michael Slater all of a sudden decides he doesn't want his body in the road. He's trying to get it out of the way and make room for himself. It's hard to work out whether this is a tactical ploy to give himself some room so he can slash him away, or whether he just wants to get the body out of the way.
Yeah, he jumped very late there. I think people sometimes sort of say, well, okay, well, that's an indication that he's scared. I don't think that's the case at all. I think what he's done there, he's watched it hit the deck. He's very fleet-footed. He's jumped backwards and actually played it quite effectively at the end of the day.
Just a little bit of activity out there at the moment. Very interesting to watch.
Yes, and that time, of course, I think he probably forced himself even outside off stump. If you have a look at the replay here, you'll see that almost as if to say, hey, don't think I'm scared, watch me here. And he goes across outside off stump, almost leans into it there.
Slater's flexing his right hand quite a bit. I think that's giving him a lot of pain. That might have something to do with the fact that he's trying to give himself a little bit of room to get away from Devon Malcolm. It's pretty good bowling, very constant, good pace bowling. He's really worrying Michael Slater. Really the sort of bowling that deserves a wicket. Often that happens, that you bowl well like this in a good spell, you bowl a lot of good balls, you just don't get the breaks, and some other days you get them out with long hops.
Yes, and down at the non-striker's end, Mark Taylor very happy to be down there. He's got a nasty bruise in the rib cage. He won't want to sneeze tomorrow morning. You feel it if he does. That's a good over. No wicket for 63.
And to continue in the commentary box, Ian Chappell and Richie Benaud.
It's easier up here than it is out there in the centre at the moment. Michael Slater is having real problems there. I reckon it's all tied up with that right hand. He's just flexing. Took the nasty blow from Malcolm, and I've been watching him through the binoculars in last couple of overs. I think he's got a bit of a problem. He's not showing anything to the bowlers and fielders. Just a little bit of body language indicates that he might be going through to the point where he's just touching the pain barrier. Devon Malcolm has bowled very fast here today. Once again, no justice for him. He had none for 93 in the first inning. He's got none for 35 in this one. The only criticism I'd have is that he's just been a little bit too short. He's been very hostile, but if he'd kept it up a little bit to both batsmen, might have had more success. This is the chance that was put down.
It should have been taken, that catch. Firstly, I think a lot of wicketkeepers would have been grabbing it, and even certainly no criticism of Rhodes for getting in first slip's way. He wasn't going for that, but Graham Thorpe is a touch too deep, I think, but he still should have caught it anyhow. Ball looped to him.
That's a lovely stroke. Plays the square cut beautifully. But one of the things he's doing is taking his right hand off the bat as soon as he plays each stroke. It came pretty much off the meat.
So I fear that Michael Slater has a bit of a problem with that right hand. He's in a bit of pain. Straight after he got hit, he played a ball from Chris Lewis up around the splice of the bat, and that hurt, which is not a good sign.
There goes the right hand off the bat again. But he's a gutsy cricketer, Michael Slater. Very, very good one as well. Picks up another 3 there. There's 7 runs he's made off this over. He's pushing up towards a half century.
Yes, it really is I assume it's a tradition in all teams, but certainly in an Australian team, if you're a top order player, you try not to go off with an injury because you just don't want to break that momentum if there's a bit of a partnership going. And you don't want to be bringing out a new batsman, and it certainly is a long-held tradition in the Australian side that you don't go off.
Kept down, 8 runs off the over, and it's no wicket for 71.